Jovan Buha! Buha!
Yo, I'm Jovan Buha, Lakers reporter for Buha's Block, and welcome to another live show. We have quite the crew for today's show. We're going to be doing a live draft of the top 25 Lakers of the past 25 years. We are first going to go over the list. You guys voted. We had over 400 votes on ranking through a pool of 60 players, whittling it down to 30 players, and then from that list down to the 25 that you see now. I did make some tweaks. I have to say that there were some things I disagreed with that maybe we could get into, but when we have our discussion. But first, got to intro everybody. We have Pete Zayas from Laker Film Room. We have Trevor Lane from Lakers Nation, and we have Keoni and Vijay from the Buha's Block team. You guys remember them from when we did the live draft back in June, covering the NBA draft and the draft show. So what's up, everybody? We'll start with Keoni and go down the list.
Doing good. Excited to get this show going. We've been working on it for a couple months with the voting and everything, and honored to be here with you, Pete, and Trevor. Thank you for letting Vijay and I in on this.
Of course.
Looking forward to this one, Jovan. I'm usually terrible at this sort of thing, but I can argue okay, so we'll see.
I think it'll be a fun mix of old and new, and looking forward to putting together the best team I can.
All I could say is I hope this goes a lot better for me than the way fantasy football is treating me right now. I hope this works out better than that.
So for the audio listeners, I will go through the list quickly, and then we'll get into some facts with the list. We'll have a little bit of a discussion, and then I have a draft order generator that will pick the order. And as some people in the chat are already saying, you want to be in the top three, and maybe there's a little bit of a drop off there to number 4, depending on how you view it. And then we will go through snake draft style, like fantasy football, and we'll see how Trevor does. But starting top 25, and to be clear, I saw someone mention Nick Van Exel. This is from the 1999-2000 season on, so Nick Van Exel was not eligible. He was not among the candidates here. But number 1, no surprise, Kobe Bryant. Number 2, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 3, LeBron James. Number 4, Anthony Davis. Number 5, Pau Gasol. Number 6, Derek Fisher. Number 7, Lamar Odom. Number 8, Luka Doncic, who was the hardest person on this list to rank, to be clear, because if we're going by pure talent, skill, statistics, Luka's obviously higher on this list and is in the top 5. It's just, how do you compare a Luka to a Pau? Then number 9, Andrew Bynum. Number 10, Robert Horry. Number 11, Rick Fox. Number 12, Trevor Ariza. Number 13, Meta World Peace / Ron Artest. Number 14, Austin Reeves. Number 15, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, whose name did not fit on this graphic. Number 16, Alex Caruso. Number 17, Dwight Howard. Number 18, Kyle Kuzma. Number 19, Rajon Rondo. Number 20, Brian Shaw. 21, Ron Harper. 22, Glenn Rice. 23, Danny Green. 24, Luke Walton. And 25, Sasha Vujacic. So looks like we just lost Keoni. Hopefully he can get back in. But wanted to go through a couple facts with this, and then we'll open it up for discussion here. So every player on this list has won a championship except for 2, Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. The Kobe Shaq title teams have 8 teammates on the list, technically 9 if you include Luke Walton, but he obviously did not win a championship with them. The Kobe Pau teams have 9 teammates. The LeBron 80 team has 8 teammates. There are 45 combined rings across the 23 champions. 4 point guards, 7 shooting guards, 7 small forwards, 3 power forwards, and 4 centers. Yes, 80 is a center, and only 4 players have played for the Lakers since 2022, which shows this is a front-loaded, top-heavy list in terms of earlier in the millennium. Only LeBron, 80, Luka, and Austin have played on the team since 2022. Looks like Keoni is back. So Pete, I'll kick it to you first. What are your opening thoughts on this list? And I know you had one player that you had felt should have been on here.
Well, it's always cool to see it written down, right? The Lakers have won more titles than any team since 2000. And just to see the level of depth and names, and these are always fun because there's always going to be a place or two where you're like, I don't know about this guy or that. But the one guy that I wanted to add to the list is I think Dennis Schroeder's a little better than a couple of the guys on the back end of this list. That he was a quality contributor to a Western Conference championship team. But as you lay it out, Jovan, the guys who win titles, they get an extra bump, right? They get that, they were able to fill their role all the way through an NBA title. And so I get it for sure, but I'm a Dennis guy. I like Dennis. I think he's better than a couple of the guys here.
It was tough to balance talent and skill and production versus, because even like a guy like Glenn Rice was awesome, but he played 1 year as a Laker. They did win a title, and he was arguably or probably the third best player on that team overall. But how do you compare even a Glenn Rice versus like a Rick Fox, who was a part of 3 championship teams and started and had key moments over multiple title runs versus one? And then again, a guy like Austin, I think maybe should be a little bit higher on this list based on production, but then comparing a guy like Austin to an Ariza or a Meta World Peace, like those guys were part of starters on championship teams and played big roles. So yeah, I think the 2020 stretch was tough. KCP through Rondo, just kind of digging through that. Like Dwight, I was like, does the 2012-13 season help or hurt Dwight? Right. I'm not sure. Like production wise, it helps, but with the bad taste in the mouth, obviously. Trevor, what was your kind of viewpoint on this list? And I know we had gone back and forth over DMs with it, and you had approved it. So is there anything else you would tweak or any guys that you feel like are too high or too low?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you can make an argument for, as much as we love how clutch he was in the hitting those 2 free throws in 2010, Sasha Vujacic being on here ahead of Schroeder. If we were really drafting, are we taking him ahead of? Probably not. But other than that, I think this is overall a good list, and as people say, a good reminder of how much talent has come through. I mean, it struck me as I'm looking through this list, I'm like, how many of these dudes are getting retired, having their jerseys retired by other teams if they win a championship with that? Like, how many of these guys are having their jerseys hung in the rafters if they win a championship for their club, as compared to the Lakers? How many on this list actually have a shot of getting their number retired? It just goes to show how, I don't want to use the word spoiled, but we are kind of spoiled as Lakers fans, right? To have this level of talent that we've seen over the years.
I mean, just the top 4, to say nothing of anybody else, is ridiculous. Keoni, you've been a Lakers fan for a long time. What's your thoughts on the list?
I'm fine with the list under the constraints of how it was created. I would say you could argue Luka may be a little high for what he's contributed as a Laker. But
that's fair.
If you were going just off talent, he'd definitely be higher. So I don't have a problem with the list.
Yeah, Luka, I actually think I lowered after the initial. So like some of the tweaks I made, 80 was above LeBron, and also at the time of this poll was around when LeBron opted into his contract, and I know some fans were upset with him, so I just could not put 80 above LeBron in this list. He's now going into his 8th season as a Laker. I don't think that 2020 title team comes about if LeBron does not initially go to LA in 2018. So I know 2020 AD was a special player, and I get why he's beloved by the fan base, as he should be, and he's going to have his jersey retired one day by the Lakers. But I think LeBron had to be above 80. 80 versus Powell is an interesting one because statistically, 80 clears him in just about everything. Even assists are pretty close, which I found surprising digging through some of the numbers with some of these guys. But Powell was a part of 2 title teams. 80 was a part of 1. I do think there's enough of a gap there that you can make a case for 80 at 4, but I think that's close. And then with Luka, it was like I was just trying to find the sweet spot of where's the line of I can't put Luka in good faith above Lamar, for example, right? But Bynum, I was a little bit like, okay, like Bynum, Ori, Fox, he's just so much better than those guys that I don't know. Luka was the toughest player to rate for sure. But what's your thoughts on the list, Vijay?
kind of echoing what everyone else has said, I think Rui probably has a case too to be on closer to the back end of the list because of the conference finals run. That series against the Grizzlies was super memorable for me. But I think like it's really interesting to look at the list, like see the names on there and kind of observe through lines between teams that win championships, right? Like you see guys like Rondo, Bishaw, and Harper together, and they kind of echo like similar sentiments to me, like in terms of their role on the team. And then like KCP and Caruso kind of similar for the 2020 team. And then obviously Luka's by himself there at 8, no kind of comparisons in the area, but it's also really cool to see, you know, for a country with 2 million people, 2 Slovenian guys on the top 25 Laker list.
Yeah, no, I like that you like the kind of pockets of like I look at Fox, Ariza, and Meta, and then even, you know, skipping Austin, but down to KCP, Caruso, like that, the dirty work guys, the defenders, the guys who you know were key pieces next to Kobe and LeBron on the wings. Like yeah, this is it took me down memory lane. So yeah, I think the honorable mentions, I would say Dennis, Rui, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle. I guess do we throw in D'Lo here as an honorable mention, or is it too soon? Not enough time has passed.
Why not? Let's be kind to D'Lo. I mean, hey, let's throw in some Smush Parker too while we're at it, huh?
Well, not that's a bridge too far.
No Chucky Atkins or Tierre Brown or anything.
Atkins, Tierre Brown. Yeah, there you go.
You know. Actually, like I had a moment of like, does Devin George belong somewhere on here? I was a Devin George guy back in the day.
Yeah.
You know,
he won
Horace
titles.
Grant. Yeah.
He won titles the first 3 years in the league. He was, you know, rookie, second year, third year during the.
Who's the guy? The Warriors guy who did it also. Who then went to Toronto. So he did back. He was with the KD stuff.
Pat McCaw.
Pat McCaw.
Good
pulled the Devin George.
Yes.
Shannon Brown, I'm seeing in the chat.
Brown
so
was.
I know people have a lot of questions. Like this was first off voted on by the audience, so it was more about whittling down the list from an initial pool of 60 down to 30, and then from the 30 to 25. There's no exact criteria. It's just the parameters are only seasons from 1999-2000 on. So even when I was comparing, say, Fox and Ori, that was another tough one for me, splitting hairs there between them. Like they both had played previous seasons before 99-2000, but on Basketball Reference, when I was going through the numbers, I only looked at 99-2000 and beyond. So that like 99-2000 through 2024-25. So you are getting the previous version of Luka, not the new version of Luka. So that's something to factor in as well whenever someone picks Luka. But yeah, I think we're probably good to move on to the draft part. So here is the criteria for the list and for the draft: randomized draft order, snake draft. Only seasons considered are 99-2000 through 2024-25. The only seasons considered are the player seasons as a Laker. So we're not factoring in LeBron in Cleveland or Miami, Luka in Dallas, AD in New Orleans, Dwight in Orlando, etc. Only the 25 players on the list are eligible to be drafted. You get the player in their peak Lakers season, so that's up for interpretation. I think with Kobe, there's multiple years you could pick, and you don't have to come out and say what it is, but like just whatever's that peak version of that player as a Lakers is the version you're getting. Shaq in 99-2000, etc. And then try to build a cohesive lineup that can play together. There are 11 backcourt players, 14 frontcourt players, so it does kind of like someone might have 3 guards, and you'll probably have Darvin Ham coach that team. But should we add a coach to the? Should we add coaches? That
we should draft a coach. Yeah, we got to draft a coach, man.
Let's add coaches to this.
Yeah.
So I guess it can be kind of like kickers and defense in fantasy football, where you should probably draft the coach last, but you can take them earlier though if you're like at the 4th or 5th round of your lineup, and you're like, I'd rather take Phil Jackson than Rondo. I'll take Phil Jackson. So let's add coaches to this. That'll make this a little bit more fun. Someone's getting a big advantage here.
Somebody gets Phil.
Okay. So it'll be Phil, Vogel, D'Antoni, Mike Brown,
Pat Riley.
Luke Walton. We'll do 2000s coaches or like 99, 2000
right.
on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
So you got
Lord.
Phil, Vogel,
Byron.
D'Antoni, Brown, Walton, JJ, Darvin.
Byron.
Anyone else?
Byron.
Well, I don't think anyone's drafting Byron, but we'll see. Okay, so let's get to I'm going to pull this off and now share my screen to do the random generator. Let's do it. All right. So we got Vijay number 1, Keoni number 2, Pete number 3, and me and Trevor are screwed at 4 and 5.
This is rigged. This is rigged.
Okay.
This is Nico Harrison and the draft all over again here.
All right.
Trevor, you got some opportunities at that 5 spot. You know,
No,
you get
I
to
don't-
take 2 guys.
I don't mind being on the turn, actually. I'll jump aside.
And I think
All right.
from the 5 hole, there's a case for Luka down there too. I don't know if we're building a cohesive lineup.
Yeah.
If I was 4 or 5, I was going to take Luka. I know he's ranked at number 8, but y'all have Kobe and Shaq, and you know what I'm saying? Like, no. I need one of those guys.
Okay, so I wrote down, I'm going to be keeping track of everyone's draft. So move that, add the player list back. Okay, so we are drafting off of this. VJ, you have the first pick. You're on the clock.
All right, I think it's only right. I'm gonna go with Kobe at the 1 spot. Specific version, I'm not sure. I know the 0506 with the scoring, but I think for a cohesive team to win some games, I still kind of prefer the 0809 kind of 910 Kobe. The more of a vet. He was tough. He was smart, and I think that was the peak of his leadership too. So I'm gonna go with Kobe in the 1 hole. No controversy here. No arguments from me getting Kobe at the 1.
All right, Keoni, you're up. Number 2.
I'm gonna go with the player I would have picked first overall, and that's the big Aristotle, Shaquille O'Neal.
Ooh. Okay.
Just dominant MVP of 3 final championships, finals MVP, and just a unique player. No one can match the athleticism, the power. Just one of one. So he would have been my top pick overall. Sorry, Kobe stands.
Look, Shaq's my favorite player of all time, so that would have been tough for me at the number 1 spot. I mean, I probably would have gone Kobe, but yeah. So Pete, you're up, number 3.
Yeah, I probably have the easiest pick, right? I'm going to take LeBron here, kind of rounding out the two-way, both shot creator and guy who can provide on the defensive end as well. I'll go with LeBron.
All right, I am up, and I think this is a pretty difficult decision for me. I'm in between AD and Luka. I'm gonna go Luka. I'm gonna diverge from the list for the first time. This is tough. 2019-2080 is special, and it would give me a certain level of size and defense. And if I get that jumper, then I'm going to be a pretty tough team to defend. But I think there's a pretty big drop off to the backcourt now, / like lead ball handler after you get rid of get past Kobe and LeBron. So I'm going Luka at number 4.
All right. I mean, this is not what I intended to do, but I was expecting Luka to be on the board. So I'm gonna just go with the combo of bigs, and I'm gonna take AD and Pau Gasol. And
Nicely done.
Put them together.
Nicely
I
done.
think that's a terrible 4 or 5 for teams to have to deal with. So I'll take AD and Pau.
I was hoping one of those guys would slip. Okay. This is tough. Well, I'm going to go Lamar. You know what? I have some really good playmaking with my first couple picks, and Lamar can shapeshift depending on how the rest of the lineup unfolds. So I will pick Lamar Odom. back to Pete.
Ooh. You know, I'm gonna get some interior defense and rebounding and go with the big man, Andrew Bynum here.
One of my all-time favorites as well, because my birthday is the 17th and he was number 17, and that just I love bigs. That's my favorite player archetype.
He was super fun for a very
really good.
Like when he was healthy, he was a very good player.
Man, he burned bright. He was awesome. He was the second best center in the league for a little bit there.
All right, this is back to Keoni, who currently has Shaq on his roster.
So if Rondo were a little younger, I'd probably go with him. But definitely need some playmaking, some pick and roll action with Shaq. I'm going to go with Austin Reeves.
Wow, nice. Okay. Yeah, I think we kind of throw the list out, and then it just becomes about who are the better players, and yeah, the order was just for more of the ranking itself. Vijay, you have back-to-back picks.
All right. I was going to go with Austin, so in a tough spot here, but I think I'm going to go with a menacing backcourt pairing for Kobe. Take Alex Caruso as my point of attack defender. And then for going, I mean, I can't put Kobe and Dwight back together, but I don't know. Or else it's going to be tough. There's not many options out here for bigs.
I mean, at that point, you gotta draft D'Antoni too.
Yeah, we might have to go small here. You know what though? Dwight gave us a redemption season in 1920, and on my squad, I'm gonna say he can redeem himself again and be a better version of himself next to Kobe, and go with Dwight at my 5.
Okay.
The 12-13 player with the 1920 attitude.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that. I'm worried about your team chemistry right now.
Yeah.
All right, back to Keoni.
All right, so I definitely need some perimeter defense and 3-point shooting since I got Shaq on my team. Tough. Because I know both. I have 2 people I'm thinking of, but I know they'll both be gone by the time I come back around. But I'm going to go with KCP.
Nice.
Like that pick a lot.
All right, just to recap at this point quickly for the viewers and listeners. Right now, we are halfway through the 3rd round. Vijay has Kobe, Alex Caruso, and a Frankenstein version of Dwight Howard. Keoni has Shaq, Austin, and KCP. Pete has LeBron and Bynum. I have Luka and Lamar, and Trevor has AD and Powell. All right, Pete, you are on the clock.
All right, I got my 4 and 5 positions probably covered with LeBron and Bynum here. Would like some perimeter defense as well, but with also some speed and length to still build into the size level.
I know where this is going.
Trevor Ariza here.
There we go.
Can't judge the Lakers till he comes back.
That's right.
I think this guy slipped.
That was the other one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That was the other one I was thinking of.
This guy's, I think, slipped a little bit too far. I'm going to go with Meta World Peace. And this time, Luka is going to be passing him the ball. But yeah, Luka, Lamar, and Meta. I'm trying to build a positionless team that, defensively can switch a lot. Trevor?
I like it. I like it. Going MWP. That's a good pick. I cannot, in good conscience, allow Derek Fisher to fall any farther. So I'm going to go D Fish here. And so I've got a guard to slot in. I'm tempted to go back-to-back guards and fill in the wing later. Oh, this is a tough call because I know either guy I go with probably is not here later on. You know what? I need somebody. I need somebody to run that high pick and roll with AD. I need somebody that can get my guys the ball. This is rough. I can't.
Slim pickings right now.
It is. No, I've got two guys I really like here. All right.
Yeah.
I am going to go.
I just had to insert this comment from Dobbin.
I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go with Rondo.
Okay.
I'm going Rondo. So I'll run a Rondo D-Fish backcourt. D-Fish is a 3-and-D guard anyway. And I'll go Rondo so I've got somebody to control the basketball. Yeah, where is Russ anyway?
Did not even make the top 60. I will say that. and I did control the top 60. Wow, this is tough because I'm in between two players from the same team. I think I need a little bit more size, so I'm going to go Robert Horry.
Big shot.
So I'm going small at the 4 and 5 with Lamar and Horry, but again, I think I have a pretty switchable defense here. Back to Pete.
All right. I am going to go with a two-way player that can space the floor a bit for me, Danny Green.
Nice.
Killing me, Pete. You're killing me.
Pete's team is huge.
Yeah.
We might have to go all in
on
defense.
Wait.
It's back to Keoni.
Back to Keoni.
Wow. I'm gonna go give my team a little more toughness. I'm gonna go with Rick Fox.
He slipped far. I like that pick.
Yeah, me too. Underrated player. One of the guys from that era that I feel like we talked about Fish, we talked about Horry, that we get to Fox kind of third in that, and he was more central to it than I think we remember him as.
That's the guy I was debating with Rondo. Was Fox.
And then Vijay, you got 2 picks here.
I think that this is one of those moments where you wish you could pick a guy like Rui or Bi. It just fits a lot better into the team composition. But I think I'm going to go all in on defense. Take a vet. Take an old but still gold Ron Harper.
All right. Big part of the 2000 team. Well, you got back to back.
You know what? Round it out. We need a guy that'll lighten up the locker room. A lot of serious guys. Dwight, I'll take Kuz. Get Kuz and Dwight in the locker room. We'll have
Kuz and Dwight driving Kobe.
Yeah.
Driving Kobe crazy.
Yeah,
great. I love this.
You're really testing Kobe here.
We got Caruso in there. Kind of keep it mellow, and Harper's the
Ron Harper is the key to your team because he's gonna have to talk Kobe.
He's a glue guy.
He's gonna have to calm down Kobe.
Don't kill these guys.
We might as well give Kobe smush too right now.
I know, right?
All right, Keoni, it is back to you.
I'm going to add some 3-point shooting. I'm going to go with Glenn Rice.
Great pick.
Ooh. Okay. And you are playing somewhat small around Shaq. I guess Rick Fox is your stretch 4, but you have a lot of shooting, you have defense, and you have Shaq. So that's a really good team. Pete, back to you.
All right. I have a very big team. Otherwise, I need somebody who can chase around and annoy the Goran Dragic's of the world. I'm going to go with the machine, Sasha.
There we go. I am going to skip on a player and take the first coach. I am going Phil Jackson to coach my team.
I totally forgot about the freaking coaches. Damn it.
And I don't know how he's going to feel about not having a traditional center, but he's going to adapt to the times, hopefully. We'll see. All right, Trevor, you got back-to-back picks.
All right. Since I'm going back to back, let's see who is Who is left here?
I will.
Looks like Luke Walton, Brian Shaw.
The
All right.
top 18 are all gone, so it's Shaw and it's Shaw and Walton.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Well, I already have my two guards in D-Fish and Rondo. I think Luke Walton actually fits in really well. He's a guy who can pass. And given this team, given the nature of this team, AD, Pau, D-Fish, Rondo, and Luke Walton, the way these guys can all run together, I'm tempted to go Frank Vogel because it won a championship. But to me, this group screams Mike D'Antoni. So I'm going with D'Antoni as my coach for this group.
Nice. I was really hoping Vijay would end up drafting D'Antoni, but maybe he can settle for Darvin.
I should have left him for that.
I now have to take Brian Shaw, so Brian Shaw rounds out my lineup. So we are now, everyone has a 5-man lineup. So to recap before we round it out with the coaches, actually, let's just go through the coaches and then we'll recap everything. So back to Pete, you need a coach for LeBron, Bynum, Ariza, Danny Green, and Sasha.
So I have a big ass defensive minded team with the rim protector in the middle. Frank Vogel.
Yeah, that's a Vogel team.
There we go. All right, Keoni.
I'm gonna go with the Dookie, JJ Redick.
So Vijay, your remaining options. Listen, you got to go first, but these are your remaining options. You have Mike Brown, Darvin Ham, and Byron Scott.
I think God. Yeah, I think
Luke Walton.
Luke Walton.
Luke Walton's still there too.
I'll go with Mike Brown.
Oh yeah, Luke Walton. Yeah, sorry.
I'll go with Brown. Brown's a defensive coach. We got 3 monster perimeter defenders on this team, and then Dwight down low. The talent's there, as we've said about many a Laker team from 2011 to 2025. But I'm not sure. I think going first in this draft is kind of like going first in fantasy some years, where it's a little too far. The turn's a little too far away from the first pick. Kind of had to take Dwight to get a big. Not too happy with the team, but we'll see what Mike can do with it.
All right, so to recap here, we'll go in order of picks. Vijay had the first pick. He ended up with Kobe, Alex Caruso, Dwight Howard, Kyle Kuzma, and Ron Harper, with Mike Brown coaching that team. Mike Brown has a tough locker room to handle, I'll say. Keoni with Shaq, Austin Reeves, KCP, Rick Fox, and Glenn Rice, with JJ coaching that team. A lot of shooting for JJ to work with there. Pete with LeBron, Andrew Bynum, Trevor Ariza, Danny Green, Sasha Vujacic, with Frank Vogel at the helm of a big defensive-minded group. I have Luka, Lamar, Meta, Robert Horry, Brian Shaw, with Phil Jackson at the helm. And Trevor has AD, Pau, Derek Fisher, Rondo, Luke Walton, with Mike D'Antoni as the coach. All right. So what do you guys think in the chat? I see Connor says the LeBron team clears. So that's a vote for Pete. I will be posting, I'm going to do little graphics and put this on X and put this on YouTube of each of our squads. But what are the initial thoughts on these teams and how we built it out? I really do like
Keoni's team. I like Keoni's team. That was yeah. I think he did. I thought the Glenn Rice scooping him up late was he was a really good player, and obviously he's just drafted for the Lakers year, but he won a title with us the year that he did, and was just he's the type of player you can insert really into a lot of different styles of play, and he can either space the floor or increase usage. So yeah, I like his team, and so much that he left.
He's like, that's it.
He's like, that's all right. Peace. Thank you, everyone.
No, I like that team as well. I think they've got, around Shaq, you've got all the spacing that you need. You've got the shooting, you've got the defense. That's a really good combo for sure. So I definitely like the way that team turned out. Pete's team, the team is massive. Especially having LeBron to act as a playmaker, I think allows you to do that. So I like that that combination there. I think people forget how good Andrew Bynum was as well. So when we're looking at the other bigs out there, like AD is great. Of course, they're not. Andrew Bynum's not on that level, but Andrew Bynum is AD, Shaq, all these other guys that we've got. But Andrew Bynum is up there in terms of his peak. He just had that 1-2 years where he burned really bright. So I like Pete's team as well for the size, the defensive versatility, and I think they're better at the center position than I think most would think just off the initial glance.
I really like Keoni's team, like Pete's team, like everyone said. I think Jovan, I know you got Phil, but your 1 through 5 switching, I think JJ would be a good fit for your team too, just given the defense.
Yeah, I have some regrets. I will say I now in thinking about the other teams, I feel like I probably should have taken Bynum over Lamar. Despite I like Lamar and Luka together. There's just something about that pairing that similar to Lamar and Kobe, but just like Pete has Bynum, Trevor has AD and Powell, Keoni has Shaq, Vijay has Dwight. I have Lamar and Ori. It's just like such a small team. Like, I mean, D'Antoni might have actually been the pick for me. I had to get a little win, so I was like, let me get Phil. But I mean, I think Luka's just gonna have to go crazy, and this is gonna be like Luka plus a bunch of shooting around him, and okay, we'll see. It could work, but I'm nervous with the interior defense.
Are you wishing at all, Jovan, that you had taken AD instead of Luka? I know you were.
I thought about that, but I didn't want to set. If you had Luka plus Powell,
that's what I would have done. Yeah,
that's what you would have done. That would have been too good of a start. So I had to break that up.
Let me ask you guys this: and going through the draft like that, you can find yourself in the later rounds, sort of going, this is lacking. There is this type of player that I need. What do you think as we do that? It says sort of this top 25 of the last years of where do you think the depth was in this group?
I think it's on the wing. I felt honestly like compelled to take Dwight because I didn't want to be in a situation where I had like a meta guarding the 5 position for me. I actually think like with my team in general, I just think I would take Kobe first in this kind of Lakers draft. But I think Bron in place of Kobe on my team changes a lot, honestly, like a 1920 version of Bron with the 4 guys I picked. But I found that like there was a lot of guys that could guard at least 1 through 3 that you would feel comfortable. And there wasn't a lot of bigs and there wasn't a lot of playmakers. The playmakers went pretty early too, obviously with the exception of Rondo.
I'm typing up the teams just to get a graphic up here that we can go through. So if you guys keep breaking it down for a little bit, I can. Keoni's back. Sorry, I can get a graphic up with each of our teams.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the playmakers, that was why my most difficult decision was between Rondo and Fox, and I like the idea of adding Fox on the wing, but ultimately thought, God, you have to get playmaking here and this team with AD and Powell out there, and I didn't feel like I'd really check that box with Derek Fisher quite, even though I like having him as that kind of 3-and-D style guard. He was, an early version of a 3-and-D style guard. And I like what he brings, but you're right. The playmaking is certainly a challenge finding that with this group, and that's where when you think back over the last 2.5 decades, the Lakers have been very reliant upon Kobe and then later LeBron to create a lot of their offense, and that's why these teams have been constructed the way they have been over the years. It's because they've had those 2 guys to kind of build around for the better part of the last 2.5 decades.
Yeah, I wanted to start with the 3-and-D guys around Shaq with my second pick, but the playmaking was going so quickly. Like I had to get a playmaker to partner with Shaq.
Almost caught up here.
I like the shooting around Shaq. Like it's going to be really tough to defend Shaq when everybody he kicks out to can knock down the open shot.
I also think, Trevor, you got one of the only non kind of on ball playmakers with Powell could be some really interesting high-low stuff with AD and Powell if that team ever,
I love the AD Powell combo and the idea of that and the things that you could do with that. There's so much skill, and Powell is one of the most underrated rim protectors as well. Like, he was always a 2+ blocks guy and just very good at defending the rim. That you combine that with AD, you can free AD up to terrorize the perimeter defensively or switch that role, right? Like, I think that would have been a beautiful combination when you combine that with their skill level. Like, yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah, I spaced when I picked Mike D'Antoni because I forgot about the whole Earl Clark thing with D'Antoni and Powell. and after I did it, I went, damn it, I shouldn't have. I forgot about that. So if I had to do it over again, I probably would have flipped that and gone with Pete's pick of Vogel for the coach. But yeah, I do like the idea of the AD Powell couple. Like, they're both just so versatile and so good on both sides of the ball that I think they could combine really well. And there could be, yeah, as you guys said, some high-low synergy there between AD and Powell that would work out really, really well.
Yeah, Trevor's team has elite passing, like 1 through 5. They all can pass.
I really don't like my team. Typing it out.
But
Isn't it funny how that can work out that way, right? Like, you plan it out and then, yeah.
Listen, guys, this is my show, and you're embarrassing me here. Thank you.
But here's the thing, right? When you step back and you look at this, like, how crazy is it that you can look at a team that's got Luka, Lamar, MWP, big shot, but like legends like this, and go, I don't like this team.
Not good enough,
compared
yeah.
to everybody else, right? Like, that's, like I said, that's a pretty awesome spot to be coming from.
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to be ready. Yeah, typing it out is fun.
What was the biggest riser surprise? Like, who went the earliest that made you think, man, that guy went off the board before I thought?
Oh, Keoni sniped me with Austin. I was going to take Austin. I thought that was a great pick. Like Caruso and Kobe, I think would have been incredible together if they ever got to play together. But I think something about Austin and Kobe, just kind of your turn, my turning in the backcourt, would have been a sight to see. I think Austin can connect Kobe to the bigs. There can be like some really interesting 2-man stuff with them too. So I would have loved to pick up Austin.
All right. We have a rough draft here of the graphic. Yeah, I really like everyone else's team. I'm a little sad right now.
Not mine, Jovan.
Vijay's got, Kobe shooting glares at Mike Brown because Dwight just pissed him off. And
that's true.
We might not win that much, but we're gonna be on ESPN every day. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, first take every morning on the morning shows. Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right. Here.
NBA X would love VJ's team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's stupid. Canva did it as a video.
Outside of the top 5 here, because I think those are all easy, if you could take any one of those guys and put them on the Lakers right now, who would you pick?
Oh, that's a good question. Outside of that top 5, let's see.
Yeah, I mean, so no Kobe, LeBron, Shaq, like, Odom, or I'm sorry, AD,
Sure.
Powell, those guys, because I think those are too easy.
I would go with Caruso, honestly.
Yeah, one of my first picks there for sure. Let me scroll through here. Yeah, that's probably the guy. Lamar would be pretty high up for me as well. Like Lamar in the Rui type of role, I think would be killer on this team. He's
the guy on this list, Odom, that LO, like if he came along 10 years later.
Yes.
Right? Like how much does that, how does history remember Lamar Odom if his game comes along 10 years later? He fits so much better, I think.
One of the most talented players to never make an all-star game, in my opinion.
Yeah. For sure.
I think for me, the 2 guys I would nominate are Caruso and Trevor Ariza.
Yeah.
I think either one of those guys as the fifth starter would be perfect. And one of those guys could be the fifth starter. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, seeing the teams, it's because obviously with Pete's team, like LeBron is the defensive 4, but he's the point guard, and that fits more in with that 2020 identity. I will, yeah, I'm trying to think about the weaknesses and strengths with each team.
So weakness on my team is that LeBron's really the only shot creator there, the only guy that you give the ball to and say, like, Bynum could do that a bit out of the post. He would be the second guy on there, but that is very much geared toward that, you know, LeBron is the center of everything in terms of shot creation type of thing, whereas most of the other teams have a couple of guys that can do that.
If there's a guy from, you know, the last few years or just another Laker that didn't make the list that you would like to put on your team, who would that be?
Well, someone had said, so I mean, we could just do this because there are really no rules. Someone had said, like, you guys should draft 6 men. I don't know where the comment went. So
that's not a bad idea. Jovan, are you looking for redemption here to salvage your team?
Russell Westbrook. So I guess we ended it with Vijay had the last pick. So if we do 6 men, I guess you would get the first pick.
You know what? I'll go with my guy that I thought should have made the list, Rui. I think Rui can bring some offense and is not going to cause any problems. He might not like to come off the bench, so we can start him and move Kuz to the bench. Kind of flexible there, and then I think he can connect some of these other guys. I don't know if there's any saving this locker room, so not too many guys I can draft.
I'm getting ripped in the comments here. Sky Falcon, Team Jovan has no shot against Shaq. R.I.P. Bob the Builder, make a trade, Jovan. It's funny because I love big teams. I love size. Like, centers are my favorite players. And
you're like, how did this happen?
Yeah, this is rough. All right, Keoni, you get a 6 man.
Trying to think. Should add a big man, but I think I'd go with Dennis the Menace as my 6th man.
Oh, you just ripped Pete's heart out.
It's it was my initial thought, but I'm gonna still get another guy that can dribble the ball, but still play into my big ass team idea.
I know.
Brandon Ingram.
Yeah. I am going to go with Julius Randle.
That's a good pick.
Still not a traditional center, but
he could play some 5 for you. He kind of balances things out. He's more of a 5 than Ori or Lamar are.
Yeah. So I got a couple lefties on this squad now. All right, Trevor, you round us out with your 6th guy.
I'm going to go with, maybe it wasn't as a Laker, but I'll go with the 6th man, Lou Williams. Go sweet Lou.
Good name. That was, as we were thinking.
No Nick Young. Are we sure? No Nick Young.
Swaggy. Well, then I would know I couldn't draft D'Lo for sure.
We're gonna leave Jovan with like Sacre or Eric Black, one of these big.
I should have gone Zoo actually. That would have been young Zoo, Brooke Lopez.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh.
But Julius is he's pretty good. Okay, yeah. So now we don't have our 6 men up here, but I will add that to the graphics. I guess, pretty close to wrapping here. Any final thoughts? I guess I didn't comment on the depth, and going back to, this was why I did this slide, because looking at it, and again, there's some positional versatility here. Like, I listed LeBron as a small forward, but you could list him at power forward. You could list him at point guard. But in general, 4 point guards, 7 shooting guards, 7 small forwards, 3 power forwards, 4 centers. So I do think the wings are where there's the highest collection of talent.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Chris Mim, Mozgov. I'm seeing some of the comments here.
As long as you don't have to take his contract.
Jeremy Lin.
Some gang.
Well, this was fun, guys. I appreciate it. I will do a poll on YouTube and on X for this, and I assume I will come in last. But you know what? It was a fun experience, at least, to draft with you guys. And I think this just shows the embarrassment of riches that the Lakers have had over the past 25 years, and I think a nice palate cleanse for the past few days of fans crashing out. Understandably for some things.
For sure. Thanks for having us. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
guys.
man.
Really enjoyed this, and always enjoy talking Lakers basketball with y'all.
And I will link everybody in the show notes. So appreciate you, Pete. Appreciate you, Vijay. Appreciate you, Trevor. Appreciate you, Keoni. Appreciate you all for watching and listening. For those watching on YouTube, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on channel notifications, and like and comment on this video. For those listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice, please be sure to follow, download, and leave a 5-star review. Let me know how bad my team is in the comment section. Would really love to hear from you guys, but appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow after practice. Talk to you guys then.